now 7:41, and I wanted to bring the Castle Hills Parks Commission meeting to order and determine a quorum. If the quorum is present, and the quorum is present. It is 7:40 on March 28th, 2019. And the quorum is present. So, we'll move on to new business. So we want to welcome and introduce a new member, Bonnie Hopke, and thank you for being on this committee. And she's not here today, but hopefully she'll be here on the next meeting. It'll be great. The second agenda item is review and approve minutes of the meeting on March 9th, 2019. And so do I have any revisions or?
Do we need to,
Motion to approve as written.
I'll second it. I want to comment on something. The idea of the pocket parks and dog parks, what do we mean by pocket parks here? Did you have something specific in mind about that?
Yeah, I think Miss Patsy brought it up, but pocket park is like, say,
We're going to minutes. Just the minutes. Are you looking at the minutes?
Yeah, the minutes.
Oh, I'm looking at the, I'm sorry.
oh,
Just approval of the minutes right now.
Yeah. Sorry, Jack.
No, you're right, John. I'm looking at the plan for parks, I think it was.
Okay, so we got a motion to approve the minutes. Jack, you second the motion to approve the minutes?
I did.
Okay.
all in favor? It's unanimous.
No, I think I was off on a tangent there.
Ooh, I think we'll go back there. Discussion number 3, discussion and possible action on current status of Castle Hills Elementary Park project. Do I have a motion? To discuss or act on it.
Is there any action at this? I think this.
I don't think there's any action, but there's.
I'll second the discussion.
Okay, you'll want to take action.
Ryan?
Well,
So there may
So,
be. Okay.
there will be, if you, as the committee, want to move forward.
Okay, great.
So I met with NISD, and originally we were waiting for a quote for the sidewalks, and we talked about their improvements around the school. We met with them actually yesterday, and they at first provided a quote, or they provided us a cost, because they got the quotes to manage the project. And the first cost they provided us, we asked for them to kind of revisit as far as the 5 inches versus 4 inches on the concrete. And as long as they're going to do a driveway apron, but long story short, they came back with a price of about $16,000 to do the sidewalk, and the city is going to cover it if we agree to it, 9,000 of it, and NISD will pick up the other 7,000 for this first phase.
Okay, so you said they're putting a 5-inch mat in versus a 4-inch?
They're going to put in a 4-inch, and then they're going to do a driveway apron down by the fence, which is going to be 5 or 6 inch. So part of my thought process is that we accept this partnership. It's about a 60-40 right now. Obviously, they're allowing us as residents to use the park as part of this partnership. The way I had mentioned to them that originally I had not budgeted dollars for this project when we did the budget, but I did say that when we look at the budget this year coming up, that we could probably allocate additional dollars for second phases or third phases potentially, but they're willing to partner with us, which is a pretty good deal on this. As far as cost, originally I looked into the Public Works budget, but we can actually use those dollars under the Child Safety Fund for pedestrian next to the school.
And there's plenty of money in the pedestrian fund.
There is.
This doesn't sound it's necessarily would need to be a council agenda item, but would it make sense to bring this forward to council?
Because we're gonna have to do some type of MOU, we are going to bring it to council.
Just with the recommendation, your thought is with the recommendation?
Because we just need to do the agreement and then cut them the check so they do the work.
There's nothing we need to bring to council right this minute, though.
Other than if the agreement's done by the April 9th meeting, it'll be on there.
Well, if it is, well,
Yeah, they're gonna send me, some kind of agreement, I'm gonna get it in front of, Mr. Schnall, and the plan is to have it on the April 9th meeting.
I guess we can leave action up to you on that.
Well, maybe do we want to mention that the support of moving this forward?
I think that would be helpful.
Yeah, I'll move that we record our support for this project and support for memorandum of understanding with the Northeast Independent School District regarding sidewalks besides the Castle Hills Elementary to support the park activity.
Second.
And the scope of, again, is starting down by Honeysuckle and connecting to that existing sidewalk, and then running it up to the sidewalk in the middle of the school. So I think you mentioned like 5 foot, and then the 4-inch.
This sidewalk would stop at that point, is that correct then?
Yes.
So at least we'd have access from 410. Okay.
Yeah. And again, I mean, whatever we decide to do next with the school district, if we do the Q lanes, which my understanding now, the principal and the school is amenable to. So the next step on that would actually have one of our engineers kind of provide a rendering and cost estimate, and then again, going through another agreement to partner with them, because they would have to basically give us the property or donate the property to the city to do that additional lane.
If I may diverge here for a second, one of the things I've always been concerned about in many things is as buildings are either rehabbed, commercial buildings, for commercial, school, any use like that, I never understood why a sidewalk wasn't put in, Castle Hill was rebuilt, 20 years ago. It just didn't make any sense. Even then you realize you gotta have something to walk on. These kids need something to walk on. Who knows why? What I'm wondering is in our ordinances, does it require to do any sort of new building or renovation, major renovation of an existing building, that you comply and have sidewalks in that building? Or is there a code that we adopted that would require that at this point, whether it's the building, SEC, the building code, or whatever?
In some cities like San Antonio, they have the Unified Development Code where you would incorporate those sidewalks with new developments or new business, but I don't think we currently have that. I'd have to look into that as far as an addition to that new development. I mean, I don't think we're making the developers put in a sidewalk at this point.
Right.
And if it's something we want to look at, then again,
I think from a commercial standpoint, anything that's commercial in the city, we should either demand that or I think we should require it just to help with mobility, walkability of pedestrians, and encourage walkability.
Right.
So, my opinion.
but at the end of the day, I think with the sidewalk here, it's a pretty good partnership for us as a city to pay that portion, and then NISD to come up with that other portion of the sidewalk, and then still, again, allow us to use the.
You can avoid one challenge by doing that, especially being a park now too.
Right.
I think that's an awesome step, so.
I had an interesting story. I was there, I think this past weekend, I took my daughter there because she loves that park now. And a lady who lives in Chavano Park with her 4-year-old said, I saw this in the she must have read the local community news. So that's why she came over from Chavano Park to use this park. Yeah.
Awesome, wonderful news. I'm gonna make it nice.
Yeah.
What's that?
Make it nice in the city perspective.
And they said that, speaking to Jorge, the engineer in NISD, they want to do some other improvements to that park, but they're going to put it in the next bond project cycle. Change out the pea gravel and other improve other amenities at the park there.
And that's a little metric.
Yeah.
Maybe Jackson Keller also.
No, I think Mr. Clary wanted to do all in the ISD elementary schools, like if they had pea gravel moved to the soft, spongy kind of like rubbery.
Yeah, you said the rubberized.
Yeah. So,
Well, thank you. Appreciate that.
Well, like I said, if we get the agreement together, I'd want to bring it to council on April 9th meeting.
I wanted to take a vote on the agreement to.
Motion to register our support.
Right, correct. So, all in favor? It's unanimous.
We're so agreeable.
Yes.
I'll need you to come and speak on behalf for spearheading the project, Bernard.
I'll be there. I will be there.
You may get skip support too, I'm not sure.
Your support.
I said you may get, you may get your support. When you go to
Oh,
the guys. See, probably.
It is.
Yeah.
Constant. Right. We're gonna move to number 5? No, 4. Discussion and possible action on additional proposed park locations. Do I have the floor?
I'll move.
Second.
Anybody who'd like to speak, can just speak up.
Yeah, I'll speak up. And, you know, we have a list of 2 parks now, which, Jack so wonderfully pointed out.
Oh, a little ahead of me.
Ahead of the game, that's okay. You know, there was a talk as far as, there's 2 things that I would think, I'm so interested in, you know, the Fang property, which has come up under numerous discussions, working with, Castle Hills Christian School was the other one, and then, obviously then Jackson Keller was the other one. And, you have some information on Jackson Keller, I understand at this point, as far as, I guess the focus is not on as of yet.
Right. But, talk to the principal there, she's very nice and accommodating, so, she's.
I'm sure she's for it.
Yeah.
And that, and the area community would be a wonderful asset to the area of Castle Hills to move forward on that too. The Fink property, I guess the discussion is there any movement on that? They have to maintain their land now, I guess, and has there been any even minor discussions about anything?
No, just need I have to finalize a letter to send out. Other than that, it's just an inquiry. I said, other than just sending out the final letter here soon, it's just an inquiry, but nothing in, you know, associating dollars with it. I'm just, it's of interest and inquiry about that.
Okay, and that's moving forward.
Yes, that is.
Wonderful. Okay.
One thing, you know, Mr. Joyce mentioned about pocket parks, and I'd say, there may be opportunities, I'm saying down the road, if we're, say, under civil abatement matters where there's a, say, said house that, you know, is in the city ever became property owners because of a transfer, owing taxes, those kind of things, that a house, say, would be, you know, demolished, you could incorporate that into a park area for a pocket park in a neighborhood like that.
That could be.
I'm just saying hypothetically, if there was ever a house in that
And there are 3
situation,
houses in the city that are probably getting close to that point.
I won't, that's why I just said hypothetically.
I can say I'm not. So maybe you turn from make some lemons out of lemonade, or lemonade out of lemons, I guess, at this point.
We might have an opportunity to share the use of some small park property. That small property can be used for park purposes. There's, I think some property belongs to CPS up across from, the Second Chance or whatever it is, Bygone.
Right, the call.
Yeah, and there's another lot, the next lot that's a similar shape, where we might use a small park. You know, for all practical purposes, pocket park just means a small park. cute term that's been used for some time. It could be even like half a lot, half a residential lot could be a pocket park. You might put a piece of playground equipment in there, you might put some soft surface that kids to fall on or play on, and not much else. Maybe fence it, keep kids away from the street, but it wouldn't be much in the way of facilities or anything like that. Just a small park and some obvious use to kids to play on. I don't see we have that option right now, but we do have a couple pieces of property that might qualify for partial use as a park. The other thing is when the city does become an owner of a piece of property, if we dedicate it to park use, if for example, we wanted to go get Texas Parks and Wildlife grant to put in some property, some park equipment or something. So what we have to do is to dedicate that property to park use in perpetuity, which means we can't then sell it or use it for any other purpose besides the park. So it's a closed-in kind of an operation once you do that.
Forever.
Forever.
Yes.
Exactly. That's what the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department requires, to make a grant on that particular kind of basis. Then you go to trouble looking it up. Somebody told me we needed to go get one, and I thought, well, yeah, but if we do that with like the commons, we can never use that for anything else. And so it requires some careful forethought before you step in that pie.
And they like to see it in an open space master plan, so most cities have an open space master plan where it shows that it's dedicated to parks, and then you have a potential project or need for that property down the road to get Texas Park Wildlife funding.
So you bring up a point, the city doesn't have an open space master plan at this point.
Well,
Well, the city doesn't have any open spaces.
yeah. But again, it takes your,
I disagree with that.
it takes your current inventory of parks in the city and identifies the need, and then identifies also the improvements you want. So you have sort of this plan or report going forward, so you can apply for Texas Park and Wildlife, because they like to fund multi-year projects.
Well, I'm thinking the way our city is some neighborhoods may be more, it may make more sense for some areas to have a pocket park, and for some areas it may not make more sense. And that's the analysis I've never done, but in just walking the city, and there may be some areas that people would appreciate something like that.
Well, I think there are ways to skin that cat. I don't think you necessarily have to go to a grant. I don't think you necessarily have to dedicate the property in perpetuity for purposes. I think you can do what we've done with the commons, which is designated as part of the commons of Castle Hill and available for park use as a temporary matter until such future time as necessity requires to use it for another purpose.
You could put community events, small community events, that's neighborhood events.
Yeah.
Put in a bench out there, people can just sit and talk to their neighbors, so.
What a concept.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Talk to who?
So that's where Castle Hills is going. Okay.
So we done 4 or have we
Yes.
moved to 5?
Okay.
'Cause you gotta
You can
talk
actually,
about
you can actually, like you said, pocket parks, you can actually put sort of in a residential, like, again, between a demolished home per se, or in a downtown portion of between two buildings.
Well,
You can make it a
that's where
pocket
I'm coming
park.
from, because that's my original understanding of the pocket park, is they used to call them best pocket parks, when I was back there in architecture school. And what it was literally a park between two buildings. The buildings could be 150 feet tall, and you have this shady area, and instead of just being a crummy area where bums could aggregate, they pave it, maybe put in a fountain, put in some chairs and things, and make it a nice area where people can hang out after work or on time, whatever it was. But the point is that it was for adult use. I mean, we're talking about kids, and that's great, but so my question is, the reason I was asking about it, so have we moved on to number 5?
Yes.
touching on?
Number 5, discussion and possible action on park inventory and plan.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay.
You know, there was, I'm sorry, when Del Rio, there was a historic downtown right there. So one building was in disarray, they demoed it, and the foundation was still there, and it's actual Parker Park today, and so they have movies there, movie nights. But it was between two buildings, and the foundation was still there, so they put in bathroom and park benches, and then had a movie night in between it in downtown.
Yeah, there's different types. I mean, what you're describing is kind of like the urban
Yeah.
type, the urban pocket park. We're suburban, so we're talking about maybe knocking houses down and taking a little piece of land here. Yeah, so that's more of a suburban. That's not urban. But the question remains, how do we define it? Is that something for adults or is it kids or is it both? Do we care?
I think it depends on the location and character of the neighborhood. I mean, if you do find a piece of property between two buildings, not too big a piece, and you're gonna do something with it like that, then maybe it'd be more appropriate for adults. And maybe you'd find a place, maybe there's a wing and beer place down the street that might have a piece of open ground beside it that you might wanna use for that purpose. And maybe in that case, an adult park would be more appropriate. There's half a lot on the other side of one of these little streets here. At least it looks like half a lot to me, between two houses. Doesn't appear to be anything on it. And if I were to use that for a pocket park, I probably would say maybe it'd be more appropriate for children, since it's right in the middle of a residential neighborhood. And it's treed and shady. So I might, but I think that's something that we look at each time we decide to pick out a pocket park, if we go that route. We might, for example, if somebody has an empty piece of property that they want to leave fallow for a while, you might say, hey, let's use that for a pocket park temporarily until you get ready to build on it. And we'll just put a couple of benches out there and make it available, if that's okay with the owner, and we'll be responsible for maintaining the surface. And you won't have to fool with it while you're waiting for the price to go up.
Well, that's great. So where I'm leading, I'm just wondering if we need a little bit more explanation of pocket parks, vis-a-vis dog parks, or maybe a separation of the two, a little bit more explanation. What do you guys think that you're always describing this?
Where are you at?
I'm on, I guess it's page 2 of the notes. Plan for parks. Below
So Jack, you're saying actually we probably better separate it out, because there's multiple types of pocket parks out there. The dog park may be a subset of that.
Okay, how about pocket parks? Should also be considered, a very small park area, which may be dedicated to adults or children.
Yeah, sure.
And then break out dog parks.
Okay. Oh, I told that exactly, no. Okay.
Another question is, do we have any locations that we might identify as part of the plan? See if we mentioned a couple of places. Last time we were talking about some CPS thing or something.
Yeah, that was the property over on Northwest Military, between Lock Hill and Northwest Military. They're right northwest of I think it's northwest of the car wash.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's the shopping center, there's a shopping center right south of the car wash, and there's one lot there right south of that little shopping center that has a CPS installation in the middle of it, surly fence and all like that. But there's surrounding land which is not used. There's another lot on the northwest side of the car wash, similar situation. but it doesn't have CPS installation on it, it just doesn't seem to be in use. I think it has an old house foundation on it. So those look like they might be possibles. Then we might contact the owner about. Let me get back to this thing. Okay. Okay, here's where I changed this paragraph on page 2. Pocket park / dog parks - capital, a dog park should be considered for the future, period. Such a park would require space for walking trails and maintenance for the gates and so forth, dog waste and so forth and so on. Pocket parks should also be considered, comma, a very small park area which may be dedicated to either adults or children, period. And then it goes on, small lots similar to commons which might include open green space, benches, and picnic tables.
That's good.
That work?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And the next paragraph, we seek to establish, I need to delete the D in that. Okay, and I did make some additions to the second paragraph, little revision there. Duty of the Park Commission is to find, acquire, or arrange for joint use of public park properties in the city of Castle Hills. And Castle Hills Public Park owned by the city will be managed and supervised by the city manager under the guidance of the Parks Commission and City Council. If you want to change that, Ryan, I don't have any problem with it. You just tell me what you want to put in there. I don't know if that's putting any constraints on you,
No, I'm okay with it.
and then I say we are authorized to explore and negotiate regarding future park projects and joint use projects. Commission will seek out and apply for grants or other funding might benefit the city parks program. All proposed agreements and expenditures will be approved by the city council.
Like it.
And that was a little change from what we had in the previous.
Right.
So question for you, to do, if this committee does work to have a 501c3, would that change the thought process on getting approval from the city council, or is that, could that come here as separate, are you a separate entity?
501c3, if we do that down the way, the 501c3 is gonna be an independent, it's gonna have to be an independent entity. And so it's not gonna change anything as far as we're concerned. What we do, we don't make any final decisions, we submit them all to council, and they make the final decisions.
Okay.
But an independent entity, such as a 501c3, Castle Hills Foundation, or whatever we chose to name it, is gonna have to be created by the citizens without the benefit of the city council. As I understand it at the moment, we got this coming up as another agenda item, we can cover a little bit more in depth there, if that's okay. What are you doing?
Put my one over right now.
Okay, well, anyway, if we could, we could put that off just until the next,
Okay.
item. I think it's the next item. The park inventory and plan,
Okay.
we kind of need to finish up on this item and then go on to the next one, if that's okay.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely, you're right, it did go into that, so.
So, tell me if there's anything we need to change on there. What I have in mind is I'll type this back up, get Bernard to sign it, so I'm not responsible for it. But I'll-
Okay.
I like it.
That's what the chairman does.
Done. Is this, does the committee agree to the Castle Hills Parks Commission plan for parks?
We accept the plan with revisions as discussed.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Okay.
All right.
It's unanimous. All right, let's move on to the next thing.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman. I think we got out of sequence a little bit. I don't think we ever quite finished with item 4.
For discussion and possible action on additional proposed park locations.
Mr. Squire mentioned the Finch property, the school, and Jackson Keller Elementary, but we never did get to to where we are on any of those? Have we had any other conversations with banks?
No.
And how about
There was a comment on that.
Yeah, we just-
It was,
the-
a gentle letter is getting ready to be
Yeah.
sent to them.
Just an inquiry of interest.
and then what about the Christian school?
Inquiry of interest, that's what I call it.
Okay, there you go. Good question.
I haven't heard anything from the Christian school or St. George.
Okay, and then you were about to say something somewhere about Jackson Keller Elementary, but I think we got sidetracked.
Right. Yeah, so I talked to the principal at Jackson Keller Elementary, and she's very pro-community, she wants to get her students out there, so it's.
Have you had a chance to bring it up with Mr. Clary yet?
Not yet.
As an opportunity job?
Right, no, I haven't, yeah, the opportunity hasn't come yet, but that'll be next on,
Okay, then I move the table this until further action, and rather than appropriate action for us to take.
I second that.
all in favor?
Okay, now,
Thanks, sir.
we're looking at the charitable one.
Yes. So, we're gonna go on to number 6, report and discussion on possible charitable entity for the city of Casaville.
Yes, from my standpoint, I'm still looking into, the process. I'll just be putting steps forward to hopefully establish that, and as I told Councilman McCormick the other day, I want to check with our auditors on the fund side to make sure what the steps were, so we're not, again, commingling.
Right.
Those kind of things, or what that process might look like as well.
That's good. You know,
You know, a city that's using this technique already, you mind checking with them, kind of figure out how they did it and how they're supporting the charitable entity.
Yeah, I don't mind borrowing their structure and how they've put it together. I would probably say I can, if you'd like, I'll put together a sort of a structure and a plan, and bring it back, like a framework, a draft, to show how we could do this moving forward. Obviously, there's steps to establish this, and then just need to check on the accounting side, if we were to get the money, how that would be differentiated between the 501 versus the city.
Right.
Ryan, is it possible, to have this available for our next meeting?
Yes,
Would be-
Yes.
Great.
And one of the things that I mentioned is that I can still have $1,000 bring home in my pocket, but I'd love to give it to some charitable organization. I'd love to get Mr. Helm before he gets out of office, about his $1,000.
I thought it was just $100 on a book over there.
I don't know, it's 1,000.
Supposedly, there's still
Oh,
a
yeah.
$100 book somewhere.
And, yeah, and
Anyway,
I'd like to motion that, I'd motion that we table this for the next,
okay, it's report discussions.
oh, it is, you're correct, I apologize. Thank you.
Just on a side note, as soon as I send out that letter, I'll send it out, have y'all have a copy of it. Okay.
nice. All right, would y'all like to move on to number 7? Open discussion. Open discussion of new ideas and accept new ideas from public.
Send it
Oh, okay. Right.
But I guess the public.
No, this is, well, I don't, there's probably maybe something online, anything online, Ryan, or it's not that kind of, where they can discuss, you know, at the city council meetings, sometimes they put comments. Is there any comments today?
Currently they're in that. We don't have any viewers just yet, so.
Any new ideas from the committee?
Public?
I'm sorry? No, I don't have any new ideas, other than what's in the comprehensive plan.
Great. Well, let's move on to number 8. Discuss next meeting and schedule, set and announce the date and time of the next meeting.
And we have Wayne said, April 20th?
April 20th at 10 a.m. Or no.
11:30.
11:30 after the NPO, or
new committee
New committee.
to BD.
So it's
11:30.
11:30, Saturday, April 20th.
It's a date.
All in favor? Unanimous. Any,
Get out in time to get Mr. Rackett home
yes,
for the game, he said get beer and chips all set up for the tip-off.
do I have a motion?
I motion to adjourn.
Is that all in one
All in
motion?
favor?
We're out of here.